But on a broader scale, a lot of stuff sounds the same. Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Today I got 3 major problems. First up, the studio construction. It's still on hold, still waiting for that one delivery. I already canceled it because it didn't show up. Now these guys tell me they don't want to refund me. That's very unexpected. They didn't deliver and now they don't want to refund. So I'll get a lawyer now, finally, which is highly annoying, but that's the solution to problem number 1. Problem number 2. That's a very small problem that probably all have to deal with eventually one day or another. I'm tired. I don't know why. I'm just so tired. But also here, there is a solution. Easy fix. Problem number 3. That's the biggest by far. The hardest to kind of understand and kind of prevent and get around. And that is my problem of like all music sounding the same. I don't know if you ever had the feeling that you listen to a song and listen to another song and you're like, that's kind of the same. It's either copying the melody, the style, kind of the vibe, the elements in it. It all just sounds the same. And it's really hard nowadays as a music producer to be creative in a way, make something new that isn't just a copy or a combination of old stuff. And this really severely cripples my creativity on a daily basis. So yeah, does all music, first of all, actually sound the same? It really depends on how you view it. It's with a lot of things the same. If you look really close, sure. No song is the same as another. If you look onto it like with a microscope. If you go deep into the waveform, even the same song just mastered somewhere else will sound different. The same song in another store, Spotify, Apple Music, will sound different because they treat the songs differently. But on a broader scale, a lot of stuff sounds the same. Let's take electronic music as an example. Almost all electronic dance music has a 4 to the floor beat. You just take a kick, put it on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very simple. Almost all tracks have that as a foundation. Some have a different rhythm, but then within that style, that rhythm repeats a lot. It's basically the same. Some of the drum elements, the drum samples might change, but even the sample selection is kind of limited because all producers use the same tools. There are certain companies making samples. For example, right here I have 48 folders full of samples, shakers, cowbells, claps. And everyone making music is using these same building blocks, especially for the drums. And then the melodic parts are usually chords, and like there are plenty of videos out there that showcase how all chords in pop music especially are the same. There are some chords where our ears are just trained to, where our brains are just wired to, that just sound very harmonic, very pleasing, that build up tension and then release it again. That's just how we work. And although you have those 12 tones per octave that are given to you, 12 notes that you can combine in endless possibilities, some combinations just sound pleasing. And some just don't. And explaining that could be really complicated, but it's again a mixture of how our brains work and what we're used to. In some certain cultures, different harmonics sound harmonic than in others. And then you have like abstract music, like these people that just play like this. And they call it music. But if as a musician you want to reach people, make money, you need to reach a lot. And reaching a lot usually makes you stick to the simple stuff. The second really big part why most music sounds the same has to do with the business side of things. if people are familiar to a certain sound, you just replicate it. We see that a lot in follow-up singles. Take any artist, first song they're successful with. They just make a second song that sounds almost the same. They just open up another project, change some of the elements, make it ready, release it, and call it like their follow-up single. It has the same vibe, it reaches the same people you already reached. It's like a formula for success. If it works once, why change it? Just do the same again and expect the same outcome. Let's take as an example Kygo. Big electronic dance, pop music artist, probably most are familiar with. Huge hits. He was like the first to actually make tropical house music big. That Caribbean sounding, flunky M1 kind of melodies and sounds, plus a very simple, slow electronic beat. And yes, I know he wasn't the first to do it. Like there were like hundreds before him, but he was the first one to really stand out to the general public by being successful with that kind of sound. 3 months later, you couldn't listen to any song on YouTube or Spotify that wasn't inspired by that. And that happens a lot. People just copy the sound to have the same success. They think if I copy the same sound, I'll have the same success, which just doesn't make any sense. First of all, there is already someone out there that does the same sound just better than you. And what people forget is that artist is not only successful because of the sound. There's more behind it. The marketing, building up of the artist, the initial hype, how much money is in there, the performances, the touring, the merchandise. Like all of this is like one bundle. And now that this kind of sound isn't really trending anymore, all of the copycat artists are kind of vanished. No one talks about them. Just like the 5 top artists of that style are still around, but even they have a tough time and have to adapt. All of the rest is gone. And this rest again is now trying to copy again someone else to have success again. And this repeats and repeats and leads nowhere, to be honest. So if you're an artist, try to make something unique, stick to your style and build it up. And just do your thing, because everything around you just changes so often. It doesn't really make any sense to try and catch up or copy. And maybe the last part are the tools and the human tools, the people involved making music. Because they're always the same. Like all that gear kind of here, a lot of people use the same stuff. So it will tend to sound the same. There are certain things that are considered the best. So everyone is using them, especially at the very top end of music making. And then you have the people making the music that are always the same. You get in contact with a Grammy-nominated, Grammy-winning mastering engineer and let him master your stuff. Everyone else wants the same guy because he had the most success. He got the Grammy. You want Grammy kind of quality. So you get that guy to do it for you. Anyways, we'll talk about the solution, but first for me, music making, trying to make something different. I hope I'll be able. It's really hard to make something different that still sounds good. It's really not easy. There's a lot of stuff that has been already done. Ooh, that was so close. My phone slipped out of the pocket, and I mean, it goes down there deep. From here to there, and then it's just bye-bye. Okay, let's put it here. And also my keys. We now know that depending on how you view it, all music sounds the same. We know why, and here's my take on trying to solve it. There is not an easy solution, but maybe I'm biased because I'm an artist. I think it's not the artist's fault, because I know so many artists that make so great music, amazing music, music that is just so enjoyable. And I also personally, when I make a song where I think it's really good and unique and different, when I then play it to other people, friends, family, they love it. Also strangers, some of you guys, they just generally like it. But when I then send the same song to a label, A&R, They usually tell me also it's good, the quality is up there, it's musically good, we like the vocals, but they either say it's not hit potential enough, which I can understand, or they say please change it just a bit to make it sound more like, and then they sent me a song that is on top of the charts. Make it sound more like this. And I think that's the problem, because those people, they don't care about music quality and like uniqueness and artistic stuff. They just want money, and they just want to get their bonus, and they will get it if they succeed. And they're stupid and dumb, so they think what's successful right now will be successful also next week and 2 months later and half a year later. So they request the same stuff again. It's actually a funny side story. My very first song that I released, I was so fed up with this entire topic that I just copied 100% as close as possible without getting any trouble the top #1 Beatport song that was on top of the charts, and I had a release instantly. Also, during my Ghost production time, that was the only request I got. People sent me a demo song, which was always among the top 10 in the charts, and asked me to make something that sounds like it, just without the copyright problem. And I think the only way to solve all of that is by music listeners, because these A&Rs, these big guys and these big labels that actually decide and have the money and the promotion power, they will follow whatever they think will be most successful. And if more people listen to different kinds of music and not only just the charts, this will definitely, hopefully soon change. And Spotify is already helping a little, promoting artists that not a whole lot of people know. But I think it's everyone's responsibility to just listen and try and search for music than just doing the easy path everyone is doing. Just opening up Spotify, going onto the very first playlist that suits you, and just click play. The more people spend more time discovering new music, the more these people will be supported and the more unique music we'll actually get. With that being said, have a lot of fun discovering new music. Take your time, search a little. There's a lot out there that will blow your mind. Promise.
Straight into the darkness.